All right, just got back from TMI, picked up a whole new interior kit for our square body. And there's nothing wrong with the interior that's in it, just a little dated, and we kind of want to modernize the truck a little bit. So let's unpack the boxes, see what we got, and get installing. All right, so we got everything unboxed, and here's our bench seat. We went with the distressed look and a lighter brown on the inserts, kind of ties in with the tan of the truck. One nice thing about this one, we don't have that clumsy center console that slides around on the seat. This one's built in with the cup holders. It also turns into a third seat for your little passengers, and it's got a storage unit underneath, which is really cool. Got door panels and dash pad back there, sun visors and headliner up on top. So I guess I've done enough talking. Let's get installing. All right, so the really nice thing about this install, pretty much anybody can do it, and it just takes basic hand tools. Right now we'll take the door panel off, and we'll go ahead and fit the new one. So got our door handle here. You can get these tools in the auto parts store. It just removes the clip. You just gotta remember what size. There you go. Was that easy? Don't lose your clip like I just did. But that pops off real simple. And then come back here. These pop off. And we got Phillips there, one here, a couple down here, and 3 down here on the bottom. And this is what I would consider, or actually 4, and I'd consider this like a 3/4 door panel. It doesn't go all the way down. They finish it off with carpet, where our new ones, as you'll see, will be a full door panel to make this real nice. And this should just lift out. Might have to, let me see if I open that up, it makes it a little easier. There you go. Simple as that. Screws are hidden in the carpet. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna take the provided template from TMI and center it up down here on the lower portion of the door. This is where the clips from the door panel are gonna insert, so we'll have to drill 3 holes using a 1964 drill bit. I'm just making sure it goes all the way to the edge and the bottom is even with the door. Tape it on there. You only have one template for both doors, so be sure not to tear this one. I'm gonna do my best not to. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the center punch. I'll go ahead and take this off carefully. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and test fit the door panel. There's a couple things I need to measure out. Like that behind the lip, that looks good. One of the things we gotta do is cut the hole for our crank, for our window. We just gotta cut the material. So I'll go ahead and cut that right there. Do like a little star effect. There you go. The other thing we gotta do is measure where our pull handle goes so you can shut the door. You need 1.25 inches from the door panel to the factory L bracket that's in there, and I can tell right now we're not there. Right now we only have 1/2 inch. So we need another 3/4 of an inch, so I'll have to drop that 3/4 of an inch, no big deal. Take the door panel back off, drop it, and then we can drill the holes and insert our pull handle. There you go. So I'm dropping that 3/4 of an inch. I'm gonna go ahead and mark that now, and we'll drill the holes. We're just gonna use sheet metal screws because they actually have little nut certs in there. And I'll mark it. There's one. Make sure it's straight. I'm gonna go ahead and drill these holes out. Be sure your drill bit's not too long and you end up going through your glass also. Ah! Kidding. All right, so before we put the door panel on, we gotta put this little trim on here, which is supplied by TMI. Goes right into the factory hole. That's secure. Got the little bezel on there. We're gonna go ahead and install the door panel for the final time. Looks good. I'm gonna come down here and feed the clips in. There's one, there's 2, and there's 3. All right, all that's in there. Go ahead and put our door pull bezel in there and drill the holes out. Okay. There we go. I'll go ahead and tighten those up. That completes the installation there. Push that through. I'm not going to put a door handle for the roll up yet. I'm going to maybe find something a little cleaner and nicer than the ones that were on there. So we'll get back to that. And it comes with this little foam tape here that covers the screws. It just sticks on like that. There we go. All right, we're gonna go ahead and install the sliders. Got a couple Allen bolts on this side. Be sure you put this on the driver's side, obviously. I'll just go ahead and snug this one up and then bring it down. Then we can get to this top bolt right there. So we'll go ahead and feed the wire through here, and then we'll go over to the other track. That way it pulls them evenly and the sliders will work. That little locking tab on there. All right, and then this one we're gonna go ahead and connect to this side, and we'll go ahead and install this one. All right, build those on there. I'm gonna go ahead and make sure it releases both sides, which it does. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove the other seat. That way we can get this one installed and move over to the dash pad, headliner, call it a day. All right, that's the last one. All right, gonna go ahead and bolt this in. With that in, we can go ahead and put the seat in. One thing I want to address real quick, we did not change the carpet out only because this carpet was in such good shape and we changed it out not too long ago. But if you do need a carpet kit, TMI can take care of that without a problem. Well, with the seat in place, I'm just going ahead and tightening up this side. I'll move there, get the two nuts on that side tightened, and we'll be good. The front one's not too bad. The back one's a little trickier, but definitely doable. All right, go ahead and put the caps on, and I'll bring the seat belts through the center, and we'll check out the seat and see how comfortable it is. All right, so what I found, the easiest way to put these covers on here, with the lever here and the bolt hole back here to hold this on, it's right in the way. So if you release the seat all the way up, it actually will stay in that position. And just kind of press those on a little bit like that. There we go. Let's work it on. There we go. Put the cover on that. All right. Let's go on that side, have a seat and see how everything works. Actually, like a little bit more reclined, so I'll move the seat up a little bit. That works out nice. Oh, there we go. License registration. Cruise mode. Got a soda here. I don't drink soda, but maybe an iced tea. And yeah, that's nice. It's nice and comfortable. Smells nice and new. Well, we got a couple more things to do, like a headliner and a dash pad and a couple sun visors. We'll be out on the road. All right, so I'm gonna go attack the dash pad. We're gonna get this one out, get the new one in. I've already started taking out some of the bolt or screws that are holding the bezel on. I'm not gonna bore you by showing you every screw, but there's a good handful, maybe 15 screws you're gonna pull out. We'll pull this section out, hopefully without having to drop the column, but if we do, we'll show you how to do that. Don't forget, we're gonna reinstall all this, so make sure you save everything. Yeah, I'm gonna have to drop the column. Okay, so actually there's a panel down here that we gotta take off first. It's got a couple screws in it. It's been a while since I've worked on a square body. There you go. Looks like a couple nuts holding up that column drop. We'll loosen those up, drop the column down, pull this gasket back, and then, yeah, I just don't want to scratch, and then we can probably sneak it out of there, but I don't want to scratch the column, so I'll drop it down a little bit. That's easy enough. All right, so I got the two nuts off. The column will drop down a little bit. Don't forget you've got a cable that's attached to the column for your shift indicator, so don't pull down too far and break the cable. Get this little vent off here. There you go. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this cable off here just so I don't end up breaking something. I think I'm gonna move over to here, pull the glove box out, maybe the ashtray if I have to, so we can get, I'm not sure what holds these in, but obviously there's something back here, so there's probably a couple nuts back there. So let me move over to that side. There's like 4 little screws down here we're going to pull out, which are attaching it to the glove box with the hinge. All right, now the glove box should come out. There we go. All right, as I'm under here trying to take the 3 nuts off each register, I'm looking under and there's actually 4 sheet metal screws under here. So as I spent the last 10 minutes trying to fight these little registers, I didn't have to do that. I can take those off once this is out. Again, it's been a while since I worked on one of these, and well, hopefully I pass on this knowledge to someone else so they don't have to do the same thing. But once those are out, then there's some clips to actually hold that section on. I'm gonna walk back over there and make sure I'm not forgetting anything over on that side. All right, I think I'm good now. There's that side. There we go. And now we can pull it out. All right, so this is gonna bolt in the same way the stock one did under the dash. I went ahead and poked the holes through. Very easy to do. And then I also did the same on the register side. So now I'll go ahead and install the registers and we'll get this back in the truck. Well, unfortunately, my bezel here, it's got some age to it and everything's kind of dried out. In fact, this one looks like someone siliconed on, but I just broke 2 of these little plastic studs that these speed nuts go onto. So I went ahead and ordered a new one of these. In the meantime, while I wait for this to get here, I'm gonna go ahead and just jump on the headliner. So that will be finished off, and then when we get the new one, we'll put it into the dash pad, put the dash pad in the truck. All right, so in order to get the old headliner out and install the new one, we gotta pull all the trim out that holds everything in place. So I'm gonna go ahead and start that. Our trim's in really good shape, so it doesn't look like I'll have to repaint or do anything to it. Just don't know how much of the trim I'm gonna have to take off. I may have to end up taking the seatbelt off too. We'll see as we get going. We'll go ahead and pull this visor off because we are gonna replace it with the new ones. On the visor, you use your mount and the hardware and just replace the visor itself. All right, got the headliner out. We'll go ahead and try to fit the new one. All right, so I'm just going around trimming. This is all the areas where the screws are gonna have to come through to put the trim back on. They leave a lot of extra material here. So I'm just trimming it down some. I'm not gonna trim it completely because I wanna make sure everything's covered. I think you'll be able to tuck this stuff under once it's installed. I'm looking at the old headliner to see where the screws are. But they do have these little indentions back here. You can see where the screws go. So they're little cutouts there. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this area out where my dome light goes. Go ahead and trim out the area for your sun visors. All right, I am gonna slide this back in just like I slid the old one out. Hopefully I can get it up and over the moldings. And we've got to sneak our dome light in here, don't forget. There we go. All right, so I got everything just hanging up here. In the corners I have the trim holding it up, and then I got the mirror holding the front up. What I did notice is when I took the other sun visors out, they were covered up a little bit by the trim. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the other sun visors ready, get those installed first, and then we'll go ahead and put the trim all the way around and see how everything fits. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the sun visor arm out of this visor. There we go. That looks good there. Go ahead and I'm gonna put a little hole in there so I can slide my rod through. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead, I got that visor holding that side up. I'm gonna go ahead and get this one going. Takes a little time just to get everything lined up, but it certainly does work out pretty well when you're all wrapped up. Okay, there's one started. All right, that installed. We're gonna go ahead and start the rest of the trim. There we go. All right, so I just wrapped up the headliner. That actually went in really nice, fits perfect, and the trim went in as it should. So we're gonna move on to the dash pad and wrap this thing up. All right, it's a new day, but we got all our new pieces from our registers, our speed nuts, and our bezel here. So it's about time to get the dash pad into the truck and start wrapping this thing up. Hardest thing is just that corner. Once that corner's in, boom. And these don't use the clips. They actually make these longer now, so they actually tuck underneath the windshield rubber. And once all the screws are in, it's very secure. All right, so get that all tucked up in there. I'm gonna go ahead and start the screws down here on the bottom, and then we'll tackle the ones that actually go in to the dash pad itself. But these down here, I know at least I can line everything up properly. I'm gonna leave everything kind of loose until I get all the screws in place, and then we'll go ahead and start tightening them up. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and put our new low car window cranks in. Kind of finish off the door panel. Go, tighten that up. Got a little grommet that goes on. There you go. Nice. All right, there we go. Okay. There's that, looking good. All right, so that wraps up our TMI install in our square body. Very simple, straightforward, and what a dramatic difference from the interior we had in here. Kind of a warm feeling, but very comfortable. I like the seat. I like the door panels, I like the modern look. So when you are ready to order your TMI parts, visit TMIproducts.com or give them a call.